mystery stamping. That it is something where you follow clues on paper. You do each one of the clues, and then you get all of your things together from your stash at home. And then when we get together on live or even on the replay on YouTube, then you will put together a card design, and hopefully it's a design that you will use again and again in your card making, in your crafting. So let's get started with today's design. I really like it because it's really simple. You could even make it a little bit more simple, but it goes together quickly. It's not too hard to cut out, and it just takes a few pieces, and then you have a gorgeous card. So with our clues right here, and I even put post-it notes on different things so that you could see, and it goes along with the clues. Something I'm trying differently. I'll turn a few extra lights on, so maybe there, it makes it better to see. All right, so our first clue is our card base. And so our card base is, I have 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4, but you could do the 11 by 4 1/4 and score it at 5.5. So there is our card base. And I'll scoot this over. It can fit there, so I'll put the card base there. And then I have a piece of basic white that's 3.5 by 4 3/4. And that is going to be our inside piece. And then I have a embossed piece. Whoops, took that off too soon. I have an embossed piece that is 2 1/4 by 5, but you could also, if you want to make it even more simple or simpler, you could use just a plain piece of cardstock for that. And this is the same size, just not embossed. All right, so then the next thing is our coordinating cardstock. Oh, I forgot the circle. We have a 2-inch circle. It's basic white. Take those away. And then we have coordinating cardstock. And the first piece is the 2.5 by 5 1/4. And this is Misty Moonlight, and this is Cloud Cover. And then the next piece is 3 by 4. And sorry about that. My watch is ringing. And then this is also the Misty Moonlight at 3 by 4. So there's that. And then we have our DSP that is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And this is, oh gosh, I can't remember the design now. And then I have another piece of DSP, and this is just an extra piece. You don't have to do this, and this isn't in the clues, but it's 3/4 by 3 1/2. So that is all of our pieces. So it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. So I'm going to move this off to the side, and we will start with all of this. So we are going to match up our pieces that, of course, we'll know are the actual, layering pieces. So this is our embossed. And once you emboss cardstock, it makes it a lot softer. But then also it is not as much area to adhere to your cardstock. So I like to use liquid glue. So I'm going to take the embossed piece of basic white, add glue. I want to get those edges because I did find out when I made my sample that the edges do matter with the embossed piece. Flip this piece over. I'm just going to line that up and get it equal side to side, top to bottom, as equal as I can. And then there's some fuzz right here and down here. I don't know if you can see that. I'll try to show that. So right here's some fuzz. So we're going to just take your pick and slide that under. And then there's some right down here. Part of it is probably glue, because I did cut it close to the edge because I want that to stick well. All right, so we'll set that off to the side. And now we'll add our DSP to our other layer. I'm telling you, it goes together quick, even though I am taking my time. See, this piece I didn't quite get as close to the edges because it isn't as important as that one, because that one is super soft from the embossing. And I think it has a lot to do with what embossing folder you use. So there's that. And then I'm going to add this to the edge of my inside piece. And this is just one of the scraps that was left over from when I cut my DSP, because I used a scrap piece to begin with. So this is a scrap. If you're doing it from a full sheet of 12 by 12, you would have a larger piece and you could cut this strip. And like I said, it's 3/4 inch and it's 3.5 inches long. There we go. Now I don't usually put my sentiment on the inside, but until I go to give it away, and then I choose what sentiment fits that person. Now I know these are Christmas cards, or at least this one is going to be a Christmas card, because this will be my Christmas card for the week. I try to do one Christmas card a week. Or I start in September, October, and if I don't have them all finished, I do them the first couple weeks of November. So I'm going to fold this over, get it lined up, and use my bone folder to crease. So I have my inside finished, and now we're going to work on the outside. So we're going to take this piece first. We're going to add glue to the back of this. I like to do my corners so they lay down. And even though I'm covering the whole thing, I used very little glue. It might look like a lot, but it's just little swipes of glue. Make certain you put this on the opening side, not the binding side. And I'm just trying to get equal on all three sides. Like that. We're going to take this and we're going to add dimensionals to the back of this. So you can probably see how this is going together. You just might not quite know where this one's going to go. Take these backings off. That off my desk. Now this orientation wise, and I said for it to be a landscape, I'm going to add that. I'm just going to try to lay it down and see. I need to come this way just a little bit. I'm just trying to center it on this piece. So about like that. I think I have that a little farther down than my sample. So I've already stamped my 2-inch circle, and I used the Wishing You the Sweetest Christmas, and then it had a bow in that stamp set, so I put that at the top. I'm going to add some dimensionals, but I'm not going to add it to the back of this. I'm going to add it to my card. So I want to set the greeting down here, so I know on this end of the corner and on this end of the corner. So I'm going to take and add this right about there. So I'm putting my dimensionals right on the card because this is already raised up, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to handle this. And then I'm going to take my glue, see how far, so I know I can go in this whole corner. So I'm just going to go in a circle here and add the liquid glue there. Take the backings off those two dimensionals, and then take, and I'm going to try to line up the sweetest with that horizontal line. And add it like that. Now you can add embellishments if you like. I have some of these, and I'm going to add these. I did not to my sample because I want to show you the simple version, and then I'm going to step this version up just a little bit. Now I did do the embossing on the other one, but I did not do any extra embellishments. I think these are two different sizes. So I'm going to take this, and I'll put this up here. I'm going to take a smaller one and put it right there with it. Hello, Jane. Welcome to the mystery stamping. And then I think I'll put one down in there. Then I want to put a couple. I'm not going to press them down yet. I think I'm going to put a couple right down here. I think I need to scoot it over and up just a little bit. So like that. Hi, Marianne. I'm glad that you both could make it. And so that is my embellished one. So, and they're really sparkly, and they're an iridescent, so it's kind of purple, kind of blue. Let's see what colors are in here. Just says two-tone sparkle gems. I really wish that they would add the colors to them. Some of them they do, and others they don't. So there are the embellishments, and then here's one that's a little bit more simple. Like I said, you could use, if you didn't want or didn't have the embossing, you could put this behind there and it would be just as nice. But there you go. There is my sample from before, and here is my sample for the mystery stamping. So we have cracked the case of the mystery design. So I added a little extra on the inside, and there we go. There is the card. So I hope that you really would find this to be a nice pattern to have in your card arsenal, because this could be many different things. It could be a happy birthday. The turtles, I think, would be a really cute card. You could do the embossing folder for the shell. And you don't have to use white. You could make it where it is a darker color and then a lighter color. And then the paper where it's the turtles. They've got several that are a scene. And then you could do one of the greetings from that. And then any floral design really works well for this. I'm thinking of some others. Oh, the one with the like basket weaves and things like that. I think that would be very pretty with this type of card layout, especially if you do it in the earth tones, and it could be a really nice masculine card. So I like a design that will be, could go across the board for any type of sentiment that you might need. It'd be a great thinking of you. a thank you, anything that you could put on this circle. And if you happen to need a larger circle, instead of putting it down here on the corner, you could kind of put it in the center of your DSP. You could add ribbon to this piece. You could do it on the edge, especially the one that is the earth tones. And so you could add ribbon. You could just step this one up so many different ways. You could add embellishments. You could add ribbon. You could add a larger sentiment. It's just endless possibilities. So I want to thank you for joining me. I had a lot of fun bringing this card to you. You can catch it on the replay. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for watching. And so, let's see. Somebody else. I can't see who the other one is. Thank you for the likes and the hearts. I greatly appreciate that. That makes me happy when I see people sharing with me. But thank you for joining me for the mystery time. And thank you for watching this card. And hopefully you will make one of your own. And if you do, put it in the comments below and let us all see your creation. So until next time, happy stamping.